Good afternoon, mailplussers. I'm your host, Melissa Hartzell. Thank you for allowing me to grace your screens, and welcome to today's Mailplus Trivia Live, where every weekday we're giving you the chance to win up to £1,000. Mentally file away your distractions for a few minutes and get ready for some general knowledge trivia. All it takes is a few minutes to answer 10 questions correctly, and you could be the winner of a cash prize of up to £1,000. A reminder of the rules: it's 10 multiple choice questions from a spectrum of categories, 10 seconds to answer each one, and if you answer all 10 correctly, you win a share of that £1,000. But just a warning, when you tap the answer, there's no changing it, and 10 seconds goes by very fast, so you better be quick when making your decision. Just one tap, and there's no going back. Stay dedicated. If you happen to miss question 1, your chances of winning the prize will be over before they've even begun, so try not to be late. And if you get one wrong along the way, you won't be able to win the money, but you can of course stick around and play for fun. You might well learn some interesting trivia as we go on, and it might come in handy for the next time you play. So how are you feeling? Chomping at the bit to get going? Well then, let's get the quiz ball rolling with question 1. Which sign of the zodiac means twins in Latin? Sagittarius, Capricorn, or Gemini? The constellation was first referenced in the work of Aristotle as far back as 337 BC, describing what he believed to be Jupiter passing through it. Amazing what you can see with the naked eye? It's Gemini, that's Latin for twins. Geminis are said to be expressive, quick-witted, sociable, and ready for fun, with a tendency to suddenly get serious, thoughtful, and restless. This sudden change represents two different personalities in one, depicted by the twins in the Gemini constellation. Here's question 2. Which of these was not one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world? Machu Picchu, the Great Pyramid, or the Colossus of Rhodes? Out of the 7 wonders, which also includes the Hanging Gardens of Babylon and the statue of Zeus at Olympia, only one still exists today to be seen. That is the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Colossus of Rhodes was the 50-foot bronze statue of the sun god Helios, but it was destroyed by an earthquake and melted down over the years, leaving no trace. And Machu Picchu is the home of the mysterious Inca Empire ruins, which was voted to be a new wonder, not an ancient one. Moving on to question 3. In the Harry Potter books and films, what does the Mirror of Erised show? Your enemies, your desires, your future. I'm sure there are some die-hard Harry Potter fans out there for which this is an easy one, but just to refresh your memory, Harry stumbles on the Mirror of Erised in the Philosopher's Stone when he ducks into an empty classroom to hide from Filch. Inscribed on it is a sentence that only when reversed reads, "I show not your face, but your heart's desire." And in the words of Dumbledore to Harry, it shows us nothing more or less than the deepest, most desperate desire of our hearts. You who have never known your family, see them standing around you. On that note, let's see how we're all doing. And only 53% of you knowing that. 317 thought it was your enemies, and 924 thought it was your future. But well done to Mark 10, Peter 16, Ian 10, and Mark, well done taking a look in the mirror. Congratulate yourselves, because you're still going strong. Here's question 4. What was the original name for Monty Python's Flying Circus? Lord of the Full Hippos, Owl Stretching Time, or No Rest for the Pixies? The Python team intended their unique humour to be random and impossible to categorise, so it won't be that hard to believe their original name for the show was Owl Stretching Time. They were so famous for their off-the-wall brand of comedy that the adjective Python-esque had to be invented to define it. And that's not the only thing the Pythons helped invent. The internet term spam came from a Monty Python sketch in which a customer is offered a mandatory helping of spam with every order. And I think quite a lot of you bombed out on that one. We have 503 of you getting that right, but 362 of you thought it was Lord of the Full Hippos, and 444 thought it was No Rest for the Pixies. But we're almost at the halfway mark, so let's do question 5. During which war did the Charge of the Light Brigade take place? Boer War, Crimean War, or Napoleonic Wars? the difference between the light and heavy brigade being the speed of horses each would ride. The light brigade having smaller, more nimble ones, and usually targeted the enemy troops that were retreating or disorganized. It was the Crimean War that the charge of the light brigade took place, an unsuccessful charge which amounted to around a 40% casualty rate for the British, and inspired the poem of the same name by Lord Tennyson, written just 6 weeks after the events, with a more positive take on it, celebrating the heroic courage and sacrifice of the troops. We're halfway now, and how are we all doing? We have Shirley, Susan 2 and Phil 10. You're over the halfway line, so let's continue strong down the home straight. On to question 6. Which of these Daphne du Maurier novels was not filmed by Alfred Hitchcock? Jamaica Inn, Rebecca, or Frenchman's Creek? Astonishingly, Hitchcock, who was responsible for some classic horrors like Psycho and The Birds, apparently had a huge phobia of eggs, saying, "I'm frightened of eggs. Worse than frightened, they revolt me. That white round thing without any holes. Have you ever seen anything more revolting than an egg yolk breaking and spilling its yellow liquid?" Hitchcock did try to secure the rights of Frenchman's Creek. However, his offer was rejected and he never made the movie. It was later made into a film by Paramount Pictures, but not with Alfred Hitchcock attached. Here's question 7. Which of these American cities is not a state capital? Springfield, Illinois, Carson City, Nevada, or Los Angeles, California? And just a couple of extra state capitals you might not know. The state capital of Hawaii is Honolulu, Alaska is Juneau, and of New York, it's Albany. Although arguably the best known city out of all 3 options here for our question, Los Angeles, California is not a state capital. It's actually Sacramento, which has previously been an answer in a previous quiz, proof that it certainly pays to be a loyal player. And that one has tripped a few of you, but we have 317 of you sailing through. Well done to Iona, Jane Trek, and Trivia King. You're still in with a shot of winning the cash. We've got 3 questions left. Question 8. What was the name of the first ocean liner to exceed 1,000 feet in length? Titanic, Normandy, or QE2? Sailing at exactly 1,030 feet, it was the first ship to be constructed under the new Safety of Life and Sea laws. It also was the first to replace the old third-class tickets with new, more attractive-sounding tourist class. However, not much of it remains today, because the Normandy sank off the coast of New York after catching fire and capsizing in 1942. The Titanic, and the first casualty of the Atlantic among those options, was only 882 feet long, and the QE2 is 963 feet long, now a floating hotel currently in Dubai. Only 2 questions left. Well done for making it this far. On to our penultimate question, number 9. Which of these prime ministers was not educated at Eton College? Harold Macmillan, Neville Chamberlain, Anthony Eden. In total, 20 prime ministers went to school at Eton College, the earliest being Robert Walpole, who held office in 1721, and the most recent, of course, being Boris Johnson. Winston Churchill was not educated at Eton, but at rival school Harrow. And amongst our options, here it was Neville Chamberlain, who was educated at Rugby School, then attending science-specific Mason College in Birmingham to read metallurgy, which is a study of the physical and chemical behaviour of metals. A very tricky one to see us through to the final question. We have 132 of you eyeing up the prize. Well done to Tim 14 and Rebecca 1. Let's see what we have in store for you with our final question, number 10. Which of these is a type of fish? A fringe-backed fire eye, a bowland fringe, a sarcastic fringe head. If you've ever watched David Attenborough's Blue Planet and seen the remarkable creatures that live deep in the sea, you will know that nothing down there is beyond the realms of possibility. Believe it or not, the sarcastic fringehead is a real fish. Although a very fun-sounding name, it gets its name sarcastic from the Latin word sarcasmus, meaning to sneer or taunt. The aggressive creatures that they are although some believe it's because when two males fight each other, they gape their mouths wide, touching them in battle, and it looks as though they're kissing, which could be deemed as a form of sarcasm. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, we've crossed the finish line, and today we have 74 winners who got through it, not stepping a single foot wrong. An admirable feat, given some of those required some very niche knowledge. Congratulations to Trivia King, Iona, Catherine, Matty Rice 1. Well done to all of you who remained on their horse until the end. An afternoon well spent, leaving with your wallets and purses a little heavier than before. We cast the net wide with the topics today, and it only takes one tricky one to be eliminated. So if you are leaving empty-handed, do tune in tomorrow to see if the next set of questions suit you any better. And for those of you looking for more, I'd just like to mention a little offer we're handing out at the moment. We're giving away a £5 Marks & Spencer's voucher with every new subscription to the mailplus digital edition, which is currently just £1 for the first 30 days. The digital edition offers interactive puzzles, sudokus and crosswords, as well as video, cooking recipes and much, much more. So if it tickles your fancy, there's plenty more information available on our website. Once again, thanks for taking part, and we'll see you all tomorrow for another chance to win £1,000 on mailplus Trivia Live. Bye for now.